And now Representative Klippert, 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
Well, thank you. I really don't have a whole lot to rebut. In fact, Jay, many of your comments were so Republican. We'll welcome you to the Republican Party anytime you want to come on over. Because you stood, many of the things you talked about business and the Red Mountain are all the things that we are in fact working for in the Republican Party, and I fought for since I've been elected. As a ranking member now of the Public Safety Emergency Preparedness Committee, I've worked tirelessly for you to increase your public safety so you can feel safe in your homes and your community. On the Education Committee, I fought for more local control in our school districts and in our classrooms and in our schools. And I firmly believe, I just had a conversation yesterday with one of our superintendents and one of our school board members, and we all agreed that we need to continue to recruit, retain, and reward those teachers who are best and are brightest, and those teachers who inspire our future generation to greatness. On the Transportation Committee, I fought tirelessly for the Red Mountain Interchange. In fact, I brought the entire, it was a trip that wasn't set aside specifically for that purpose, but I took the whole Joint Committee on Transportation, both House and Senate, in a bus to Phase 1 of the Red Mountain Interchange, and I showed them exactly what the Red Mountain Interchange was all about and why it was so very necessary. And the chair of both the Senate and House Committee go, now we get it. Now we understand. And in fact, we got seed money in the last transportation budget for the Red Mountain Interchange through those efforts. On the Judiciary Committee, I fought for, one of the things I fought for on the Judiciary Committee, what might surprise you, is for, we need to have some definite reform in our immigration policies. And there was an immigration issue that came before the House floor that was completely divided, partisan. All the Republicans were going to vote no except for me. All the Democrats were going to vote yes except for, oh no, all of them were going to vote yes. Totally and completely divided, and I worked with both the Attorney General's office and several of the members of the Democratic Party on that particular issue for immigration reform, and before we were done, we got a 100% yes vote because we adopted language that both the Republicans and the Democrats could agree on immigration reform. And in serving on the Military Operations Veterans Affairs Committee, I fight tirelessly for our veterans and for that we have a strong military operations, that we can face any enemy that would come against us, foreign or domestic, and be ready to meet that challenge so that we would never, ever again have anything that happened like happened in the Twin Towers or happened at the Pentagon. And if it does, we'll be ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I also agree with what Chris Christie said. One of his comments that he made was, the most important thing for us, for me, as an elected official, is not to do what's popular, but to do what's responsible. When I went there, I realized that you sent me there not to be reelected. You sent me there to do a job. You sent me to do the right thing every time, and that's what I've always tried to do. Thank you very much.
And now, Jay Clough, for your 3-minute rebuttal.
Thank you. Trying to figure out where to start here. Okay, so my opponent is very keen on supporting Hanford workers and the history of this community. And I think that also requires that we support our retirees, people that spent their lives out there, who may have been disabled out there. But he's voted for cutting disability in this state. He says he wants to support education, and he's all rah-rah about that. That's fantastic, until you look at his actual voting record. His voting record shows that the bill that actually passed, he voted against. The bill that he voted for, the budget bill, actually cut tens of millions of dollars more out of education than was actually passed. And he voted no on the bill that cut less. That's specifically education. The Red Mountain Interchange issue is a good one. I was actually quite surprised to hear him talk about it. Because when it came time to vote for paying for the initial work that needed to be done, you have to do the permitting process, you have to do the environmental impact studies and things like that. He voted against that. So you can talk about how much you support a project that's really going to help our community. And it's true, Red Mountain will help our community in more ways than one. But you need an elected official that follows up their words with actions. And that's what I'm presenting to you. He said, welcome to the Republican Party. I'm a conservative. I always have been and I always will be. The title, Republican or Democrat, may shift. It may go back and forth. But I will always be a conservative. And so what I'm talking about right now, the things that are important to me, are conservative values. Now, some people may not vote for me because I have a D next to my name. So be it. I think that if they listen to what I'm saying, they'll realize I'm just like a lot of you. I don't wear as many hats as my opponent. I'm just Jay. But I think I have some pretty good ideas on how we can move our community forward. On the immigration issue that he just talked about, I think that's a fantastic bill. The thing that he actually added to it was basically taking translators off the chopping block and considering them to be in the same category as a group that we were trying to regulate. And that's great. But the bill had already passed. It had already gone through appropriations. He may have pulled a couple Republicans to the side. That's fantastic. But honestly, the bill had already passed. But I mean, if he wants to run on that bill, fantastic. We have a job to do in this community, and our elected officials' responsibility is to make sure that job gets done. That's true. But the job is not poking your finger in the opposition's eye. Your job is to get work done for the business leaders and the voters and the citizens of this community. And if you elect me, that's what you'll get, a no-nonsense person going there to solve challenges, not to make a point. Thank you.